When you grow peppers from seed, a lot of the work happens indoors, germinating seeds, using grow lights, starting fertilizer and watering until it's finally warm enough to plant your peppers out into the garden. If your peppers have recently moved outdoors, there are a few things that are critically important to do now to help protect them from potential damage later on, and also to help them acclimate and grow as quickly as possible. I want to start with a few really quick tips for right after you transplant. Number one is I like to create a little divot, a little donut around the base of each pepper plant. The reason I do this is that when you water, sometimes the water will run away from the plant, and this helps collect that water and keep it where it's needed right at the base of the plants. Watering is super important right after you transplant into the garden. There's really only that small root ball that you transplanted in there, and it needs to remain moist, so having the water where it's needed is really important. Speaking of watering, right after I plant out like this, I like to water nice and deeply, a really thorough soaking to make sure that all of the soil is saturated. But after this initial watering, I like to wait at least a week or two, depending on how hot it is, before I water again. This will encourage a nice deep and robust root system that's much more resilient to drought later on. And I keep this mentality throughout the season. So I don't like watering frequently and in little amounts. I like much deeper watering less frequently. Another quick tip is to remove any early fruits, especially from larger varieties like bell peppers at this point in time. If you've just transplanted and your plant is trying to produce a large fruit and they're still tiny like these plants are, you want them to focus more energy on producing more branches and foliage, growing larger before they try to set their fruits. And another quick tip after transplanting is to keep the plants covered if you have the option to do so with insect netting. That will help prevent early pest pressure from slowing down your plants at this stage when they're really vulnerable and small. If I can, I like to keep my peppers covered for a couple of months after transplanting. Of course, at that point, they might be too large for a covering, but we've seen great results from using a simple insect netting cover early in the season. Okay, now on to the main tasks after you've planted your peppers out. The first most important thing I want to mention in this video is mulching. And you'll notice I haven't mulched this bed just yet, but I have mulched this bed with pine needles, and I want to talk about the benefits of mulching. First, what can you use to mulch your pepper plants? We're using pine needles this year, but we've had good results using straw, shredded leaves, or even a layer of compost around your plants can all be used as mulch. I would avoid using things like fresh grass if you just mowed your lawn. Let those dry out for at least a week before you apply them as a mulch. And also hay is not a great option. It can contain seeds and also herbicide residue. Now let's talk about the benefits. And there are some drawbacks which I'll also get to, but the main benefits are that it suppresses weeds. This dead organic material basically prevents seeds on the surface of the soil from germinating, and even if they do germinate, they don't get enough light to thrive. And if you do see one or two weeds pop up through your mulch, it's easy to spot them and pull them out. A nice 3 to 4 inch layer of mulch can also help buffer the soil temperature and prevent excess moisture from evaporating off the surface of the soil, especially during the hot summer months. If you get storms with heavy rainfall, the mulch will prevent the soil from splashing back up onto the leaves of your plants, which can introduce soil-borne pathogens and diseases. And any natural mulch like leaves or pine needles are going to slowly break down and add nutrition back to your soil over time. And one more benefit that is a little more subjective, but I think mulch makes a garden look more pleasing. It's more uniform and it makes it a little bit more pleasant to come out and do some gardening. A couple of possible drawbacks. One is that mulch can harbor certain pests. We've had issues with earwigs. It's going to depend on the climate that you're in, but some pests like to live below a layer of mulch. Another small drawback is that it's a little bit harder to apply granular fertilizer. You will have to move the mulch aside to scratch that into the surface of the soil around your plants. And one last drawback is that it can be laborious. If you have an especially large garden, you're going to have to come up with a lot of mulch, and it will take you some time to put it in place, but it's a one-time thing. And over the course of the season, you're going to be saving yourself a lot of time when you're not having to weed your garden thanks to that layer of mulch. So I think it's well worth the time. Before I get into the next task, which is something I still struggle with every year with our peppers, if you want to learn everything that we do to grow our peppers during the year, we have an ebook called Growing Perfect Peppers, which details our entire process of growing from seed all the way through to harvest. All of our tips and tricks are included in that book. So if you're interested, there'll be a link down below, or you can scan right here to check it out. Okay, the next task is a really important one, and I have a great example of it here, even though this isn't a pepper, and that is providing a stake or some type of support for your peppers. A stake is sort of the bare minimum just to keep your plants growing upright. A lot of pepper varieties don't have the structural integrity to support themselves throughout the season, especially later on when they become heavy with fruits. And if you have an especially successful garden, your peppers may end up huge, 4-5 feet tall in some cases, or even bigger. And in that case, a cage like this one can be well worth it. The reason I recommend doing this now is that it's a lot easier to work around small pepper plants and just consider it a part of the planting out process. As soon as your plants go into the ground, you should provide them with support. Even if they don't need it at that point in time, one strong gust of wind or a thunderstorm or something can take out your young peppers when they're super small and vulnerable. So start with a stake, and if you're expecting your plants to get big, put a cage around them right from the beginning. I mentioned that I struggle with this, and yes, I've seen some plants completely break off at the main stem, ruining that entire plant's harvest for the year. It's really disheartening when this happens, so I definitely recommend being proactive and putting support in place for your peppers right from day one. Now, I usually reserve these extra bulky cages for larger plants like tomatoes, but if you're growing peppers in huge containers, you can expect some pretty big results. So a cage like this, custom made using this fencing here, I cut this with bolt cutters and just bent the cut ends around each other at the end. You can make these as wide or as narrow as you want. They provide much better support and they'll last a really long time because they're made to be outdoors. And if you find that they weren't useful for your peppers, they are definitely useful for growing tomatoes. The next task after you've gotten your peppers outdoors is to start fertilizing them pretty much right away. Peppers are hungrier plants than a lot of people realize. They can use a lot of nutrients throughout the course of a season, especially if they grow to be super big plants. Now for in-ground plants, I like to amend the soil a few weeks before they come into the garden, just to give it time to start breaking down and releasing those plant available nutrients for the peppers to use. And then about 2 weeks after planting in the ground, I'll start fertilizing and keep on a regular schedule going forward. For peppers in containers, I'll start fertilizing from day one and just keep on a regular schedule. Usually every week or two is enough. You want there to be available nutrients in that soil from day one and throughout the entire growing season. You don't want there to be a lack of nutrition. Even if you don't notice a change in your peppers like yellowing leaves, that deficiency in nutrition is going to cause the plants to grow more slowly and potentially give you a lower harvest in the end. So just stick to a schedule and you're gonna have great results. If it's your first garden, I definitely recommend being proactive and doing a soil test. You'll find out exactly what's in your soil. Chances are you don't need to add nearly as much as you would think. Probably some nitrogen, maybe some potassium. Knowing what's in your soil to start with is a great way to have a perfect balance of nutrients for your peppers. And this last thing I want to talk about is not as much a task as it is sort of managing your expectations. And that is to not expect too much of your pepper plants during the first month after you plant into the garden. A lot of the time after you plant into the garden, the first few weeks are stagnant. You're not going to see much growth, and that's totally normal. It doesn't mean your plants are set back. It doesn't mean that they're struggling necessarily. It just means that they're busy setting their roots down into a new environment. They're adjusting to the outdoor elements. And after that 3 to 4 week mark after planting into the garden, you should start to see some new growth. You should see nice new green foliage emerging from all of the nodes down lower on the plant and at the top of the plant. But during that early window after you plant, the plants may actually look worse. I've come out after a week or two after planting and you'll see sunburned leaves, white crispy patches on the older foliage, and it's discouraging, but it doesn't mean that your plants are off to a bad start. It's totally normal. Just stay on top of the things that I talked about in this video, like fertilizing on a regular schedule, watering nice and deeply, mulching if you can, and supporting your plants, and in time your peppers are going to take off. Let me know what pepper variety you're most excited to be growing this season down in the comments below. I'm curious to learn. We have some pretty interesting peppers growing this year. Also some fun experiments going on in the garden, which you'll learn more about later on this channel. So thanks for watching Pepper Geek, and I'll see you soon.